The story comes to us from ABC 10. ABC 10 News brings us a story where, you know how, and they did it with George Floyd, they've done it with other people, where somebody dies at the hands of the police, and they say, the coroner will say, well, it was from excited delirium. It was just excited delirium. He panicked and then he passed away. Guess what? Governor Newsom has signed and approved and passed a bill saying, not anymore, because California has made history. Yeah, we made history. Yeah, probably the first time. Governor Gavin Newsom signed the Assembly Bill 360, outlawing what is known as excited delirium. Now, no other state so far has outlawed this term, but the governor of California has. The controversial term has been around for decades, widely known in the aftermath of, like I said, George Floyd's death. He was held down under a police officer's body weight for over 9 minutes. Have somebody sit on you that's over 200 pounds for over 9 minutes. See if you can breathe easily. They said, no, it's excited delirium. Now, since George Floyd's death in 2020, ABC 10 and their sister station, Denver KUSA, have partnered to investigate other deaths that have occurred while someone was detained by law enforcement, and found many of the cases have the cause of death classified not as asphyxiation, but as excited delirium. See, because if they go with excited delirium, then the officer can't be accused of asphyxiation. Oh, excited delirium. Well, Governor Newsom has said, no. If it's asphyxiation, you're going to call it that. You're not going to call it excited delirium anymore because that term has been banned. Interesting how he can ban a term from a coroner's findings, right? But I love it. Excited delirium can be marked by agitation, aggression, and an occasion sudden death. But many leading medical organizations, including the World Health Organization, or WHO, and the American Medical Association, the AMA, do not recognize excited delirium as a condition. The Nobel Peace Prize winning organization, Physicians for Human Rights, called it scientifically meaningless. Well, most things that they come up with in law enforcement are scientifically meaningless. California Assembly member and former law enforcement officer Mike Gibson told ABC 10 in an interview about AB 360 that excited delirium is a way to justify aggressive law enforcement tactics. I think that's what I was hinting on earlier when I said, yeah, so they don't have to call it asphyxiation. Then the officer is excused. Oh, it was excited delirium. The guy just died because, he got delirious. He was, panicking, and he had aggression and he had agitation and he just died. Versus the cop using excessive force. Now, Gibson goes on to say it is made up to cover up. When you start invoking untruths or lies to cover up for what may have taken place, then you make a mockery out of our system and also the science. Well, our justice system is a mockery anyway. That's a given. Now, that's why Gibson proposed a bill that prohibits excited delirium as being a valid medical diagnosis in California. Come January 1st of 2024, that's just in a day or two, any California coroner or medical examiner can no longer use the term as a cause of death. So if they die at the hands of the police, the coroner has to say, well, it was asphyxiation or some other thing. He cannot say it was excited delirium. Governor Newsom has banned that term from being used. I guess he can do that, right? He's the governor. It's good to be the king. Now, AB 360 also outlaws law enforcement from using the term in an incident report and in a court of law. Excited delirium is now considered to be inadmissible in court. They can't even use it in their incident reports. This bill is the first in the nation that Assembly member Assemblyman Gibson hopes other states will follow suit. He said California leads the way. Well, they'll come up with another term. They'll come up with some, those methamphetamine affected intoxication. And then it goes down from there. You can again read it below. They go into the death of Angelo Quinto, a 30-year-old who died after Antioch police officers held him down with their body weight pressed into his back. Well, guess where your lungs are? Yeah. You ever have somebody sit on you and you go, I can't breathe? Come on, dude. But you get excited delirium and then you pass out. No, it's called asphyxiation. Get it right. They talk about that if you want to go and read that one. So bottom line here is the governor has said no more. Now we're going to call it as we see it, not make up some term to go, well, the cop is just doing his job, man.